of nowhere. There's dead bodies piling up all over the place, and as far as I can see, there's only one guy missing.
Welcome back to the Haddonfield Horrors Podcast, where we review horror movies and horror franchises. I'm Mark,
I'm Tawan.
I'm Elian.
and today we're reviewing I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, released in 1998, written by Trey Calloway and directed by Danny Cannon. Elion, can you give the people the plot summary?
Julie James was still haunted by past events when she and friends covered up a hit and run. Hoping to relax, she joins friends on a trip to a remote island, only to be stalked again by a vengeful killer, Ben Willis. As her friends are murdered one by one, Julie discovers the trip was a trap.
But before we get into I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, let's get into some Haddonfield headlines. So, start us off. Sinners is still killing it at the box office. Is still going strong.
As it should.
Yes, Sinners is still going strong. It brought in $45 million over this past weekend. Which, I mean, that's still great. Even as of today, which is Wednesday the 30th, Wednesday, April 30th, it's still selling out like IMAX theaters all across the US. Which is funny because if you look at the comparisons for this, like Sinners versus Thunderbolts, which comes out to technically comes out Friday, but early screenings are tomorrow. Those screenings are not nearly as packed as the Sinners ones are. People are even going as early as 8 a.m., 9 a.m. to see the IMAX screenings of Sinners and 70 millimeters. Which, if you got the chance to do that, I hate you.
Oh,
Did you see it in IMAX one?
No.
Oh, damn. Same.
I still need to know what this movie is
The
about.
nearest 70 millimeter IMAX theater is in Indiana. It's 2 hours away.
It ain't even worth it. I don't care where it was at. I ain't going to Indiana on a movie.
I would have went to go see it because I wanted that fucking film strip.
Well, they were giving out the. Oh, okay. I didn't even know they were doing. See, I didn't know what the promotion was for Sinners, but
Yeah,
that's damn okay. But
if you saw it in 70 millimeter IMAX, you got a film strip of the movie.
oh damn. I just saw this movie for the first time yesterday at the time of this recording, and I went in completely blind. I knew that there were.
Mhm.
I knew there were twins. I knew there were vampires. I knew they were black. I knew it was set in the past. I went into it thinking it was going to be set in the 50s or the 60s. I had no idea it was the 30s. I knew nothing. I didn't even see a trailer. The only clip I saw because I was scrolling Instagram Reels was fucking that clip with Haley Steinfeld talking about you stuck your tongue in my cooch and then you fucked me so good. Like those are the only parts I had seen, like walking into the movie theater. So I went in completely 100% blind, and I didn't know what I was getting into, but it was fucking great. Like it was. I had an amazing time watching that movie. All the hype was real. All the symbolism was amazing. And it has a bunch of rewatch value. And I listened to one of my favorite like review podcasts talking about it. And usually there's always one person who's so negative, and they low key, one of them doesn't like any Ryan Coogler film, and they all gave this movie so much praise. And this was a great movie. You know, Twan, your recommendations have been hitting recently, and I love
My
you for that.
recommendations always hit.
If you that's
Tell me
subjective.
one recommendation that you didn't like on mine. I'll
It was
wait.
it was probably a remake, if I'm being honest.
And I can't think of one that you didn't like.
Several, actually. But yeah, I'm excited that it's still doing big numbers. I know that there was some questionable press from Variety, but I'm glad we're past that.
Yeah. So still going strong. I'm glad to see it. I hope they keep it in theater as long as they can. Um, and there's already talks of there being an IMAX re-release like around August or September. probably, well, one to probably bring us some more money, but in addition to that, probably to put it back on people's minds when Oscar season and shit comes around, when they start doing their votes and all that. So hopefully that does happen, because if so, I will be taking a drive to Indiana, or well, no, I won't be taking a drive. Somebody's going to be driving me to Indiana so I can see that movie in IMAX. Moving on, though, horror release that just happened over the last weekend was Until Dawn. So if you guys are not familiar, Until Dawn was a video game. This movie is an adaptation of the video game. It is getting like very average reception, like average to mediocre reception online. Um, Currently, it sits at a 52% critical rating on Rotten Tomatoes with a 69% audience rating.
Damn.
It brought in 18 million globally on a 15 million budget, and like fans, obviously fans weren't um interesting really, even when it was first announced, because it like I said, adaptation, so pull some of the source, so pull a little bit from the source material but not fully. I actually went to see it over the weekend, and I didn't mind it. It was a pretty decent watch. I give it like a 6.5, like 6.5 to a 7 out of 10. Like
Were
it
you a
was
fan of the
average.
game?
Yeah, but the thing with me when it comes to adaptations is I'm not coming in to see the same thing that I just played or watched someone else play. I would like this an adaptation
Right.
for a reason.
Actually, I'm with you with that, and I feel that's what video game movies do wrong, and that's what video games based off movies also get wrong, because I feel like with a movie, you want an adaptation. You don't want a shot for shot like remake of a video game. But then they always like, "But we want that when you're turning that movie into a video game." But they always just kind of switch it, and it never feels right. Now, I was kind of pumped for this because I love the Until Dawn game. It was one of those games I discovered during COVID. Like I knew about the game, but I hadn't played it. So when I finally got a chance to play it during shutdown, I was like, "Oh my fucking God, I love this." I played every single game that was like loosely connected into the universe or whatever. And I enjoyed them all. I was never hyped for this movie. Having Michael in there from Love Victor, I was kind of like, okay, I'm a fan of his. I can get behind this. The cast had some interesting people, but I'll catch it on streaming.
Like I said, I saw it. I thought it was fine. I did like how they kind of turn your game mechanic and the restarts into them kind of like little happy death day type of thing. Whenever all of them died, they came back um, once again. A little bit weaker, a little bit frailer. They actually did really good with kind of making them look like they had died, or like keeping their sustained injuries. Like over time, if somebody got like fucking stabbed in the face, you'll see like the wounds, kind of like a wound in a sense, but they're still like fresh almost.
I gotta
So
watch this movie now.
so I thought, like, I like how they did that. That was pretty interesting, and it did like connect to the games a bit because they had the therapist from the video game in the movie. He played the same character, so that was kind of like a connective tissue there. And just to not like spoil it, like what happened at the end kind of connects even more so to the game. But yeah, I thought it was like a fine little watch. It definitely should have came out during Halloween time, like Halloween season. I don't know why it released now, because I feel like that this is the one. This is definitely one of those type of movies that would have hit more during that time when people are wanting to go see those type of movies. Especially given the budget and just the general kind of like averageness of it. Like it probably would have hit more during then than it probably does right now. But um, the audience and everybody who saw it at my screening, everybody was like pretty reactive to it. So yeah, I personally thought it was okay. It'd definitely be a fun to watch with some friends.
I'm gonna definitely give it a shot. I'm gonna watch it, but I just didn't want to like watch it in theaters and be forced to just be completely immersed in that because I knew I wasn't gonna like it. So I'm glad you have positive thoughts. Like again, I don't know. The trailer didn't seem to like cat to grab my attention. I did hear about the connective ending, so I did kind of like the little nod there. And with that, they could probably even just make a sequel that adapts the game. So you know that I know I'm gonna watch it when it hits streaming.
Yeah, I probably will end it on. I do think out of like David F. Sandberg's like horror films, it being so
What else
that
has he done?
Annabelle creation. Also, he directed Lights Out.
Still haven't seen
I
that
think out
one.
of both of those movies, and then tossing this one in there, it's probably the weakest out of his like horror films that he's directed. Um, yeah, I would
You
say
make me
this is
want to
the
watch
weakest.
this, honestly. Like I,
It's a
to be
pretty good
honest,
watch.
for me personally, I think I've seen it around, but I've not seen a lot of advertisements for it. I didn't even know about it being a game first. It kind of reminds me of Last of Us when they did it for the HBO Max. They converted the game into a show. Um,
That had like I see what you mean though. There was like little to no like fanfare for this movie, and I feel like
that's why I was like, I heard of it. Like I've seen maybe a little snip or like, by ear, but I didn't know, like I haven't seen no advertisements for it, to be honest.
Yeah, they weren't. I don't. They really weren't advertising novelty. As to be honest, like I pay for so much of my subscriptions and shit to not include ads that I barely see ads for anything. So
honestly, that's
unless
valid.
it's unless it's like ads on Twitter for something, or they like going crazy on Instagram or something with ads, I'm not even seeing them. But
And
compared to
I
other
I was
movies,
seeing that with Sinners though, and
yeah,
I
that's
mean
what I was going to say.
I had
Compared
to
to
keep
other
like
movies,
strolling past
yeah.
that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because compared to other movies, yeah, like Sinners or like that movie that we spoke about recently, Weapons. Like I've been seeing that a lot on Twitter and stuff.
Hmm.
Like,
I've seen
but
him
this
every
one,
fucking where.
yeah, but this one, not as much. Yeah. So moving on, we have an update on Sorority Row 2.
Oh my God.
Wait, oh my God. Sorority. I might be thinking about the wrong movie, but it wasn't this like an old movie, like the first one was a very old movie.
So the first
Yes.
one was an older movie, and then it got a reboot. Yeah, it got a reboot in 2009. And the director of the 2009 reboot is teasing a sequel to that
Which
movie.
I will say I do prefer the reboot, the remake over the original.
Yeah, I definitely have not seen the original
Of
to
course you
Sorority
haven't.
Row, like the House or Sorority Row, whatever. Well, mainly because
It's old.
when not even that, I didn't even know that at the time when I was a fucking child that
This the
Sorority Row was a
yeah
remake.
the slight name change. Well, I knew it was a remake because I had watched the original one. Because
Yeah, because you old.
no, because I like horror movies. I watch them from all decades, all eras. Okay, I'm not picky.
You're not old, bitch. You is picky. I'm not trying to hear that.
But I'm not excited for this. That movie came out what 2009. Is it gonna be a sequel to to that one?
Well, shit, they already made a sequel from the 70s to '09. Shit, they ain't that long ago.
No, that was a remake. That wasn't a sequel.
Well, I think it sounds like he gonna be looping back to that one somehow. I
What?
don't know.
For what, baby? Just make an original project. Original projects are winning right now. All right, Sinners is winning right now.
Everybody ain't Ryan Coogler though.
The Substance got nominated for an Oscar. Let's do original ideas, original projects. We do not have to go back and if you ain't making a Freddy or a Jason sequel, I don't want to see it.
What do
Now,
you mean? You're not excited for Texas Chainsaw Massacre to have its 80th
girl,
reboot?
that's a franchise they need to just let die because it does not work. Like,
I'm gonna be honest though. Like, would I watch a Sorority Row 2? Yes, I would watch
yes,
it because
I would
they
watch
were
it.
so bitchy in that movie. I loved it.
They were, which
Um,
is why I love it.
but I love Jamie Chung and she died, so I don't care.
But also,
Um,
I didn't like the motivation behind the killer. Like it was really pissed. Like I'm like,
and
so
they
the
killed Carrie Fisher.
yeah,
Well,
I'm like, so
he's
the
going for real
spoiled
too, but
yeah, R.I.P. But like the spoiled rich white boy is killing people because he might lose his spoiled rich white boy life with the girl that he like. It's stupid. Like ugh. Like and they're gonna loop back to the original. Like what the fuck is this? Like maybe y'all can't find Destination Us. It's not gonna work. I'm not interested. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch angrily, but
and it's so good that you mentioned Final Destination because we have some updates on Final Destination Bloodlines.
oh, we
So
do?
yesterday, yes, we do. Yesterday, April 29th, was the screening for critics
Hmm.
for Final Destination Bloodlines, and we have some first reactions. Um, a number of critics took to Twitter to share like their thoughts, and I'm I don't want to glaze or get too excited, but it seems like we're back,
But
boys.
oh, so they've all been positive reviews.
Yes, so
Okay,
far,
good,
pretty
good.
much
I was
all
kind of
the
afraid.
yeah all the early like critics like reactions have been very like positive and receptive to the movie.
They aren't just
Um,
gooning, are they? Like, are they being like legit that this is good?
no, they're being like something like they're saying is good and not
Okay,
like not just glazing, like what they're saying is good. We have one. Who's this? I'm gonna say this again. We have BJ Colangelo from Slash Films saying that
love
um,
him.
I've been waiting 14 years for a new Final Destination, and Bloodlines was well worth the wait. An absolute bloody blast from start to finish, and easily one of the best, certainly the funniest in the series. I hope they never stop making these. And we also have Courtney Howard from Variety, Ill, and AV Club saying Final Destination Bloodlines is a splatterific blast, a fun, frightening nightmare factory of gleeful gore. Sharp Rube Goldberg death traps perfectly finesse tension, dark comedy, and blood drenched carnage. Easily a franchise fave. A lot of people, though, that I was looking, they definitely. A lot of people were comparing this one to Final Destination 2.
Okay, that's
They were
positive.
comparing it to 2 because of like they were saying like that investigative approach that they kind of took with 2, trying to
Hmm.
like figure out what was going on. Um, and they said yeah, a lot of people kind of put it up there with the second one, and
Okay.
I definitely ran into a spoiler. I'm not going to spoil you guys. Um, honestly, it's my fault because I should have stopped reading, but yeah, it sounds like we're gonna be in for a good time.
Okay, good, good, good. Like again, I am very like I'm off social media. I'm not really on Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky, but my social media has been geared towards the soap operas and away from horror movies, so I can avoid spoilers. So I'm excited to hear that people are enjoying it. Sorry you got spoiled. Hope it wasn't too big of a spoiler reveal, but I'm excited
Mm,
for the.
yeah, a little bit. Honestly, I should have just stopped reading. I knew what I was reading. That's just me being nosy. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I bought my ticket today.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. This is the only horror movie that I'm really excited for in 2025. Like of all the continuations and all of that, like this is I'm excited for this. And you know what's crazy? I wouldn't have said this a couple years ago, but since we did the Final Destination like retrospective, I refound my love for the movie for the franchise, and now I'm like I'm back in. Like I want to be back in so bad. So.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good time. They definitely are putting a lot into the marketing of this one, which is getting me positive on it because when the studio don't like the horror movie, you don't see no marketing.
Facts.
But I'm seeing a lot of marketing for this one. They're doing like fucking pop up events in different cities and shit like that.
Yep.
murals around fucking Los Angeles. So I guess the studio's pretty positive with what they got here.
The teasers, the trailers, seeing the excitement. Um, like I'm really hyped. Like this was the
Horror is
franchise I thought
winning.
this was the franchise I thought was kind of just like dead, but I'm glad that it's been revitalized. I'm glad that we're back here.
Horror is winning right now.
It
We're doing
really is.
so good.
It's really in a
It's a
big
good time.
resurgence. And I was afraid that with Scream 5 it was just gonna be like a slasher resurgence, but it's like it's been horror overall. There's been some misses, but there's been a lot of W's, like a lot. The
And you know
substance
what?
being nominated for an Oscar is
Hmm.
amazing.
And you know what? Not even a um like headline that I had in mind, but it was something that um I read out of my email. I get like some like newsletter about like, film and stuff, and it
Hmm.
was talking, if I recall correctly, they were talking in it about um like how there seems to be like an overload of horror movies coming out, and I don't know if I and like they're saying like they think, who, I gotta remember who exactly said this. Oh,
An
here it is.
overload of horror movies, but
Yeah,
I feel like we get an overload. Not even over. I feel like we get like a slew of horror movies every year. It's just they haven't been they haven't been good. Like we usually, if 10 horror movies drop, I can probably say two or three are good. The rest are either subpar or dog shit, but they end up on Tubi. So I feel like we always have this big cluster of horror movies. It's just this is the first time in a long time that a big portion of them have legs, and they've just been in our face because they've been good or entertaining in some degree. I think that's
yeah.
the only difference.
Yeah, so I found it here. I'm gonna read a little. I might read it. It's not. It'll be pretty quick, but essentially, it says studios are cramming an unprecedented 29 horror films into theaters this year, nearly doubling 2024's output. Universal alone is planning 7 titles. The genre flood is no surprise after horror delivered a spectacular ROI last year, with films like A Quiet Place Day One generating 83 million in net profit and Longlegs turning a budget under 10 million into 48 million profit. This massive increase comes along as Sony's gaming adaptation Until Dawn opened to a modest 8 million domestically, 10 million globally, while Ryan Coogler helms Sinner stands as the genre's lone breakout hit of the year. Industry analysts point out that this crowded slate, which includes revivals of The Conjuring, Final Destination, and 28 Years Later, could potentially cannibalize the genre's own audience. Horror has
No,
traditionally been viewed as a safe investment due to modest budgets and reliable returns, but this strategy echoes the superhero genre's recent challenges with market saturation.
no.
The coming year will test whether there's enough audience appetite for this horror feast, and I don't agree with that
I don't
because
agree with that. My bad, because like you're reading that, and even with the movies you listed, yeah, they're all horror, but they're all different subgenres of horror.
exactly.
And you have zombie horror fans who I know people who don't like slashers and they won't watch Scream, no matter how good you tell them to Scream. They're like, I don't like slashers. I'm not watching Scream, but they'll watch a zombie movie. They'll watch a thriller. They'll watch a body horror.
No,
Like,
exactly.
like I'm the minority that I enjoy all genres of horror, but like majority of people only like one or two genres and they won't watch the other ones. So like, yeah, there's a slew of horror movies coming out, but it's different subgenres for different types of horror fans, and that's perfectly fine. If it was like the '80s and we're only getting fucking slasher remakes, I mean slasher sequels every fucking year, then yeah, I would agree with this. But that's not what's happening.
Yeah, and I don't. That's essentially what I was getting at too. Because while superhero fatigue has definitely like been a thing, um, one, it really just depends on the quality of the movie. Because if something's
Yes,
good, people are gonna go see it, like
origin
regardless of the
stories
fact.
fatigue is what the fuck we've been going through for
A little bit.
superheroes. Yeah,
But also, just the movies haven't been. Well, if we're talking about Marvel's output, the movies haven't been hitting since
No, they
post
haven't.
Endgame. The movies haven't been hitting, like origin story or not. They just haven't been hitting. Um, but yeah, like you said, there's so many different types. Like even in this article, we just talked about A Quiet Place, Day One, Long Legs, Until Dawn, The Conjuring, Final Destination, 28 Years Later. Like those are all different things. And if we mention even just a couple others that like are like going to be coming out, already came out. We got shit like The Monkey that came out earlier in the year. Like there's so many different types of movies in this genre that I don't see it cannibalizing itself. One, due to horror generally having like um lower budgets overall, so it's
Mm.
easier to pull in a profit. But also, if the movie is good word of mouth, all of that stuff, which horror fans like we're like, I don't say we brutal, but we gonna tell you some shit's ass.
Facts. We will tell you not to go watch that shit and you run out of the way. There are several
Yeah,
movies that I've seen that I'm just like, you know what? I saw the comments telling me not to go watch this, and I did it, and now I wish I had listened because we gonna tell you what's up. And I don't know, I don't feel like it's gonna cannibalize itself. It's like if it was the same subgenre over and over again, yes. But this is different. Like we get
yeah,
slew of horror movies every fucking year. Like we had what the Escape Room 2 and uh Truth or Dare and the fucking clapping movie with the lights. Like we get slew of horror movies every year. It's
yeah.
usually only one or two of them are good. But shit, they all been good.
When we have movies like Terrifier 3 pulling almost 100 million on a 10 million budget, no, 2 million or something budget,
Hmm.
like we're just in a different ball game right now.
Facts. And horror fans have been waiting for this. Like horror movies have been again, they're hit or miss. You can see a good horror movie that comes out in like January and won't see another one for another like 8 to 9 months. But luckily we've been getting them back to back recently, and I'm okay with that. Give me more.
Exactly. Keep us active on the Haddonfield Horrors podcast.
Yes. But let's get to I Still Knew What You Did Last Summer. Now, going into this movie, I had to initially was like, I don't have to watch this one again because I really didn't even have to watch the first one. But there were some parts that I needed to just like actually just sit down and watch because I was trying to figure out like why the hell Carla and her boyfriend were friends with Julie after all her friends got murdered. But then a scene explained that Julie ain't tell nobody, which I guess is valid because she wouldn't have friends because I'm pretty sure if she told Carla about her past, she wouldn't have a friend, which also valid. So like. I just forgot how dumb this movie is and how it's completely tonally different from what we watched last week. Like a
Yeah,
100% different. Like it's more slapstick and comedic, and I don't know why the fuck they had Jack Black in here with that fucking dreadlock wig, and it was I don't know what the fuck. I, Going into this, I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna like the second movie more because Brandy. But that turned out not being the case. It was like, yes, Brandy's good in this. I'm glad you're good, girl, but this movie is not what I remember. And it just had me questioning myself. But what about you two?
so
Elia or Twan?
so for me, last week when we did the I Know What You Did Last Summer, I was saying that I definitely remember liking the second one more than I do the first one. That's still true. I still do like this one more than I like the first one. Just because it gives me the feel of what I felt like the first movie should have been. Going into the first movie now, especially after discussing it last week, I see that one as like a horror thriller, or more like a thriller than anything, compared to this one, where I see it more as a slasher, which is what before I rewatched the first one, I remembered it as. Well, after rewatching the first one, I was like, didn't really give that. It was kind of more on like the thriller end of the stick. But yeah, this one came out the gate like more slasher like. It was definitely the fisherman felt like he was Ghostface in this one. Um,
Right?
yeah, he was giving Ghostface in this one for sure. Like he wanted their asses dead for real.
He was just hopping in places. Because how you out there torturing Ray, but then you got your ass on this island at the same time? And was Freddie Prinze not contracted to be in this movie? Did they not pay him enough? Because why is he never part of the main fucking like going on? Why is he always on the side? Like all these fucking random shots of Ray driving and at the hospital buying guns and getting his ass whooped. Like, what is this? Why is he in a completely different movie?
No, that's true. Um, that actually was kind of one of my like issues with it. I just felt like he really wasn't in the movie, especially like I'm like, bro, why are you even on the cover? Why is he like fronted why is his face that big? He should be
That other
smaller.
white man should definitely be on the cover because he was actually in this movie a lot more. Shit, we saw Jack Black more than we saw Freddie Prinze Jr.
No, you're right. Actually, they could have put Jack Black there and took Freddie Prinze Jr. out, and I wouldn't even notice probably.
And
But
when we get to the character section, I want to rip Ray apart again because he keep doing stupid shit every movie, and he better do anything stupid in this new one.
you got to give him his lashes.
Girl.
There was like
um,
no character development for Ray at all. It was just like he was
Be
just
the
there.
same country bumpkin he was in the last movie.
Country bumpkin.
I still would though.
Same.
um, but yeah, what I will say I didn't like in this one. Fuck it. Okay, I know we're gonna get to it in the story, but like the Jack Black shit, I remember why they brought that up in Scary Movie because they were so right. Why the fuck was he in here?
You gotta be shitting. Look at this cat. Yo, what's up, my brother?
There was no need for his character at all. There was no
So
need.
annoying. And I'm like, and like, I wasn't even like offended by the characterization.
Yeah,
I'm just
I wasn't fitting. He was just annoying.
what the fuck is this?
Like when I was a
They,
kid, like I probably thought it was funny because Jack Black. Like we love Jack Black. We're kids. Like, but now I'm an adult. Like Jack Black be annoying me, bro. Like
Girl.
I saw the Minecraft movie. It wasn't good. I just went to see it because I'm like, I have to see this myself. And I like every time I was seeing this motherfucker, and he started. Of course, like they contract this man to sing and everything. I'm like, oh my god,
I've only
like,
liked one Jack Black movie, and that's
is this
that.
School of Rock?
Well, okay, well, I like two Jack Black movies because that's School of Rock, but it's also that Christmas romance movie that he has with Cameron Diaz and like two other people who I completely forgot were in it. But I like him when he's like pulled back and kind of and trying to be serious and not like this comedic stick.
Oh, The Holiday.
Yeah, I love The Holiday. Yes,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
that
The
one.
Holiday. Yeah, The Holiday is good.
But like, I don't. His scenes could have been cut, and we could have just had more scenes with Ray. Honestly,
I was about
like
to say they could have given Jack Black's paycheck to him.
Yeah, he does overdo it. He does overdo it sometimes, and like when they rein him in a little bit, he be cool. Like, but like when he just is let to do whatever fuck he want, like no, I don't, I can't do it. Like, yeah, it was just not it. Like, but I love Kung Fu Panda though. I fucks with you for that one though.
I can't with you.
He's more of a comedic character. It's just like not his element of horror. It's just like I would never in my life thought that Jack Black would ever be in a horror film at all.
This was one of his
And
first
It just didn't
movies.
work. It just didn't work here. Like, it just was not it here. Like, because obviously we know, like, as some horror fans, like they always try to cut the horror with a little bit of comedy here and there, or just sly remarks or whatever, but like
It's just the
That's
when it's
comedy
probably what it
wasn't
over,
is.
comedic. It wasn't good.
yeah, and when it's over, but yeah, when it's over the top like that, it just doesn't it don't slap. It's not slapping.
100% not. 100%.
Well then.
But yeah, I just feel like I don't know. I get that they wanted to go with the whole slasher vibes, but it just for me, it was a I liked the slowness and the thriller-esque vibes. If they would have kept that, but also gave it the slasher element, I feel like I would have enjoyed it more. But I just feel like they completely ditched the thriller for this "we're marooned on an island" slasher, and I was like, okay, I guess. But let's move on to some standout scenes and kills. Elion, anything that stood out for you, good, bad, or indifferent?
For me, I'm still laughing at the part that they still brought. Like for me personally, it's like, oh, what are you waiting for? She still did it.
Do you hear me? If you want me bad, come and get me. I'm right here. But my grave stays empty.
She still did it in the grave. I don't know, but it was still funny to me that they brought her back. Um, honestly, any standing out thing? My scenes are more of like the characters, to be honest, over any kind of particular scene.
Well, for me, I always love the reveal of that scene when they revealed that they actually got the answer to the capital of Brazil wrong.
Even answered the radio question right. This whole thing was a setup. The fuck are you talking about? Rio isn't the capital of Brazil. Sorry, wrong answer. We lose.
I don't know. That scene always
Oh,
just
that
like
was
gets me because
good.
it's like, oh man, this is all like you. And like, first of all, you thought you read the back of some motherfucking coffee beans and thought you were getting the capital of the fucking country. Like, come on, Julie. It ain't that simple now, girl.
Not
Like, what the
Jennifer.
fuck? Like, I don't understand. Like,
The
pretty.
disappointment.
I'm pretty sure American grown like coffee, whatever the fuck, don't got made in Washington D.C. or the fuck like it was like
She
the
did.
like bitch, are you dumb? Well, yes,
Well,
because they
she,
didn't fucking
well,
know.
she, well, she was doing Sydney from fucking Scary Movie with that dumbness.
But also, one of my favorite kills is actually Jack Black's kill. How he just like stuck that man in his hand and then made him watch as he was going to select what weapon to kill him with.
What are you doing? No. Seriously, don't do that. Oh, God, Jesus. No.
Like, brutal. Like, why would you do that?
I think for
Mm.
me, I mean, just because you brought that up, it was like the maid's death, honestly. The way that he just fucked her and just stuck her into the room. I'm like, damn,
You hooked
okay.
that lady and dragged her ass. Like, first of all, how strong are you? Because heavy. And
And
then,
then,
like,
No, yeah, he's strong as hell. Cause come on now, when it killed Tyrell, like, huh?
lifted that man up. Actually, his whole little death scene, like, I was like, Tyra, like, he just wanted to get some food and get some pussy, and he couldn't get nothing. He died hungry and horny.
Tired. I'm hungry. I'm fucking horny.
I'm so sorry.
the one thing actually, now because we're talking more about it, that just came to my head was the one where Jennifer Love Hewitt was in the Superman. And it reminded me of Final Destination 3 where like the girls, like, they
Mm-hmm.
died. Oh my God,
Mm.
I was so terrified.
And
I was like, oh
what's his
God.
end goal with that? Like, you just gonna keep the bitch in there, and like, I don't understand. But
He
also,
must have he must have been
okay.
from the future and watched Final Destination 3. It was like, hold on, wait, I got an idea.
But also, one of my least favorite scenes was the reveal of Will being Ben's son. The
Oh
little,
my god.
the little, hey
That
dad,
caught me off guard.
hey dad, like what the
God
fuck?
about that.
Like Wilson,
I'm sorry, bitch.
Wilson, Benson,
Ben
Ben's son.
Ben
Like
Wilson. Come on now. Like who the fuck?
baby, like I don't understand. What was that? How was I supposed to connect those dots? What are you talking
Like
about?
even if I was the most paranoid motherfucker ever, no way I'm even thinking about that.
But
That caught
also,
me off guard, honestly. I
but
was just like,
also, I
wait,
feel
what?
like Julie. I feel like Julie had some reservations about him because he been trying to get in this girl's pants the whole movie, and she like, I'm good, I'm
She
good.
was
We
like,
just gonna be.
ah.
Mm. But then I want to go over to one of my last scenes actually is just like all the race stuff. Like outside of that initial, like him being run down, and his friend getting killed through the fucking windshield. Like I was just supposed to drop you off, now I'm getting killed. Like what the fuck? But everything outside of that, with his friend dying and him being like mowed down, I wasn't interested in anything Ray was doing. Like nothing at all.
Yeah, they
Ex-
could have honestly they could have wrote Ray out and just made a new character say Julie, and I wouldn't have any other. I wouldn't have thought anything of it.
Ray was
fact.
just like a cameo character. He's just like, I
Or
was
you could have just,
here,
you literally could have
dickhead, and that's it.
actually what they should have done, which would have been so much better for me actually, and I think
Let
for the
Carla
movie.
save her.
No, if they showed Ray getting mowed down, and then we just didn't see him again until he popped up on the island to save Julie, like
No,
it
Yeah,
they
that
would have
could
could
have
gave
have.
worked too.
Yeah.
suspense. And like you could even had a like instance where the fisherman thought he killed Ray. He took a little picture and he sent that to Julie, and we could have just seen Julie spiraling doing that
No, for
last act
real.
until we saw Ray come to the rescue to save her and Carla. It would have made it so much better because we didn't need those scenes. They added nothing to the fucking movie. You could have just
They were
brought him
not
back at
needed
the
at
end.
all.
See, they should have had me in the writer's room, even though I was
Bro,
like,
you weren't even born, I think.
I was just like two or three times.
No, for real. I was about to say, I'm like, shit. When this movie came out, I was a couple months. I was a couple months old.
Wait, when was this movie? When was the movie come out?
98.
November '98.
Oh, girl, I was not even in process.
But so, what about you, Twanya? Any scenes, kills, any standout moments, good, bad, or indifferent?
Yeah, like I said before, yeah, Tyrell's kill. I liked his kill. I don't know. It's always like when somebody's talking big shit about like what's not going on, and then they get killed about what was going on. I'm like, oh, it's just you always know when something like that's about to happen in a movie, and it's just like, oh, when is it gonna happen? And then it happens. So that was a good one, but also I'm like, why the killer have to like drag him up into the fucking ceiling? You already got him in
How
the
did
neck.
he
He dead.
even do that? Like, he was so buff.
I'm like, he already he did, he good. All right, you got him.
Now
Um,
that you said that, I know this is such a stupid comparison. Do you guys remember Jeepers Creepers when he killed the cops and he just closed the
mhm.
door and there was just a long pause and he just opens the door and throws the head inside? That's what it reminds me of.
Oh my.
Let's see who else. I'm trying to remember. Was it? Oh wait, one. I would say every scene that had Mr. Brooks in it because why does his lips look so cunty? Like he just pursing his lips all the time. I know that guy just looks like that actor, but like he looks so sassy whenever he was talking to them.
I I know Randy would have whooped his ass in real life.
Outside of that, there really weren't any other like kills that kind of like stood out to me. I did like the scene, yeah, the tanning bed scene. It was definitely, well, even though it was beforehand, it definitely called back to Final Destination, just iconography wise. But when I like that scene for the suspense factor, but also it's like, what was the end goal? Like,
Yeah, like
was
I
that
don't. Yeah, the motivation for that was like you were trying to cause claustrophobia. You were just trying to freak her out. Like, was he
like,
gonna
was he
like,
gonna free her? Was he gonna free her?
or he could have just like he's gonna kill everybody else on the island, and she'll just be here stuck and starve to death. I guess
But the thing is,
that
that
could
doesn't make
make
no sense. That
sense.
like, if he was trying to kill her since the first movie, why would he toy with her? Like, I'd be pissed off.
Yeah, because honestly, you have her right there. Like, there's no one there to stop you from taking this bitch out. Like, why are you playing games with her? Like, that part, I was
Pretty boy.
the one sure about.
Yeah, besides that though, I don't really have much else scenes to kind of call back to. Um,
Well, let's move on to the characters. And first up, we have the resort staff. Now, I only added them on the list because I wanted to just say, what did they do? Why did he kill the maid? Why did he kill uh Jack Black's character? Why did he kill the old black guy? Well, the old black guy, I kind of get why he got killed because he remembered Ben. He remembered that Ben killed his wife or whatever. So that
It's
what I
giving
got.
racism.
But
It's definitely
like,
giving racism.
no, he knew that old man because that old man knew him, and that old man had saw him around the island. And the people start popping up and going and got killed. You got to kill the one person who actually know you. So that I got. But everyone else, from like the hotel like manager to the maid to the marijuana head, like, why did he have to kill them? What did they do? Or was it just me?
it'd be so
Hotel
real.
manager had no. Hotel manager had it coming. The way that he introduced himself was just like such a dick. He was like such an
That's what I
ass to
said.
everybody.
He was so cunty.
Yeah, he was, but like I don't know. Let's move on to Tyrell and Carla, the token black friends who were added on this movie.
I wanna be down
You
with
know.
what you're going through.
We do
I
love us some
wanna be
Brandy.
down. Um,
So,
what?
wait. So you think when Carla saw the killer, you think she was seeing the boy's mind? This is a genuine question.
Yes. Um. So I, I forget bro name. One that Mekhi Phifer.
hmm
Why does he? I feel like he be acting the same in like every movie.
He does have like one. We know he'd be cute with it though, because actually, you know, I remember now that you mention it, I'm seeing him in my head give the same performance in Soul and Soul. Damn.
Like I feel like he be he be acting the same in like so many other movies that I that I've seen him in over the years. Great, like obviously like you know Black Icon, all that stuff, but yeah, they were definitely just the token friends in here. Um, because this came out after Scream 2, right?
Um, I believe so. Scream 2 was like fast tracked.
Yeah, so I think they were like, oh shit, we gotta we gotta put
Yeah,
some black notoriety in here.
Scream 2 and the first I Know What You Did Last Summer came out the same year.
Yeah, they were like, we gotta put some black people in this one. Who we
And
got?
let's get a TV slash music star to be the main one.
But obviously love Brandy. I mainly love that Brandy survived in here. That's the main thing. That's just the main thing. Like
Yeah.
I don't care
Also,
about anything else. I just love that she survived this movie because at this time they was just killing the black folk off in all
no,
these movies.
that's what I wanted to add to you. It was just like during this time, it was always the black person that died. It's like finally, for once, it was just a different thing, like a different viewpoint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
because her
they
white
was
bestie
always,
died, but her black bestie made it through.
and we love that for her.
We do.
And I need a mention in whatever this requel is.
Carla, we love that she survived. That was such a baddie, but she was so white. She was so white, in my opinion. Like, if I was her, I would have been gone. I would have been gone. Let's take the gym scene, for example. Remember, like,
No,
she was just going,
they were on the island with a hurricane surrounding them. They couldn't go nowhere.
it's not even that. It was just more of like, take the gym scene, for example. Why did she have to go in there? She could have been like, I'm not going in there.
Because
Literally, and finds the poor maid.
she was
Yeah, she
checking.
finds the,
She was looking for the maid. She was looking for the staff to help her.
nah, she was curious. She was giving Sydney.
Black folks get
Uh,
curious too. You know, we do a little peeping, but once we find some shit we ain't supposed to see, then we get the fuck out. Which is what she was
no,
doing. You look to a
mm,
degree and then you get out. You don't keep
I
looking.
mean, I'm just saying, she was giving a little valley girl with that accent.
But also, I just feel like Tyrell, the whole movie was just hungry and horny, and I just feel bad that he never got to satisfy either craving, because they was definitely cock blocking my man in the fucking jacuzzi. Like, sir, go anywhere. Y'all on an empty island resort. Take her anywhere and blow her. Like, I don't know, like what you got to do. Do something, please. But they were good. I knew he was gonna die, like kind of like you, Twan, because he was just negative the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
But I just didn't expect his death to go down like that. But Twan, what are your thoughts on? Well, I think I already know, but what are your thoughts on Ray?
Ray, come here. Like, come here, right here. What was the reason? What was the reason?
Stop, Twan. I'm going to piss my pants.
Yo, they paid that man. I'm pretty sure they paid him a good amount to reprise his role and then give him shit to do.
But I'm sorry,
Honestly,
they
that's the best type of job.
I'm pretty sure he didn't mind because this is around the time where Freddie Prince's career started to kick up, and he was in every romantic comedy that they could possibly put him in. So he probably was like, I'm gonna do my little scenes in like a week's time, and then y'all call me back for the climax, and that's it. I got other
oh
sets to
my
be
god.
on because what was he here for?
I will say you don't get as many lashes as you do from the first one, but you get a couple because you took too long to show up. I know
No,
you had to.
his main lash is like, sir, she invited you to the Bahamas, and you said no because you want to propose to her in y'all hometown where y'all friends were murdered the year before. Are you dumb?
Yeah. No, yeah, he was done for that. That's why his friend had to get on him. Um,
A
which
good
he
friend.
deserved. Yeah, which he
R.I.P.
deserved. Because I'm like, bro, she don't want to go back to y'all shitty fucking town that that all this shit just happened to y'all in. Hey, why are you mad about that? You should be like, I understand. I understand
He
that's
also experienced that too. So it was like, what was his issue with her being upset, not wanting to go back, especially her being traumatized with everything that's happened?
exactly like only thing that should have been said was, you know what, honey,
Like
I
I get you
understand.
were not I get you were not in the film that much, but you still were there.
Yes, I understand, honey. That's still traumatic for you. We don't have to do that. Let's take this trip, decompress, and we could talk about it when we get back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. An appropriate response.
But Ray does not give an appropriate response, and that's why he gets a lash.
I just feel like Ray wasn't needed in this movie. Like what I mentioned earlier, just cut out all the scenes in between him getting mowed down and him showing up on the island. And that could have been a big climactic surprise. Like, oh shit, not only is Ray alive, he made it to the island to save Julie. And like, it would have been perfect. And it also would have fixed some pacing issues. Because I felt like I was taken out of the movie every time we saw Ray on his little, like, his journey to get to the island. Like,
Th- This is also a lesson for everybody out there. If he wanted to, he could.
yeah, because he was on a mission and he got there. I just wish we didn't see it. If I'm like, that's my only thing. Like, you get what I'm coming from, Tuan? I feel like that would have fixed a lot if we just took out his middle scenes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because why did I need to see him getting a gun? I would have just believed that he had a gun.
Getting on the bus, like all that stuff could have still happened. We just didn't need to see it, and he could have just been like, "I had a one hell of a journey get into you." Like I don't know. It's
Like
just
I'm seeing so much more unbelievable movie magic to not think that this man could have got to this island.
especially because we didn't even see him get to the hospital. So like that would have been fine. Like it's whatever. But Elian, what are your thoughts on Julie?
There we go. Sorry, my thing keeps muting me. Now, Twan, remember this is Jennifer Love Hewitt. We don't need a repeat of what happened last time.
Well, my other bitch ain't in here.
Facts.
R.I.P.
um, Honestly, I didn't. To be honest, I did not know Jennifer Love Hewitt could act like that. I only know her from Ghost Whisperer. So seeing her in like a different role. Okay, I'm talking about the actress, not the character. Um, so like you guys know that I watched the second one instead of the first one by accident. So, but just by watching the film, she did. I don't know how to say it. Like she's obviously very troubled, and like the way that they made her seem is just like she was like going through some sort of psychosis, or just like going through some like PTSD. But it was the fact that they made it because remember like in when they were at the club. They made it seem like she was just imagining it, but this whole time she was being followed. Um,
Well, she was also having some hallucinations, but she was also being followed.
Fair. Uh, the bitch can scream. That's one thing. Uh, Obviously she's our final. Is she considered the final girl? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard for me to kind of do her character as well because, like, like we've been talking about it. They scream, and I know what you did last summer. Kind of go hand in hand, or like they try their best to be like the other scream, but it doesn't work out.
Say that Julie was boring again. Like,
That's
well,
I
it's
didn't want to
it's
say that.
crazy because like she went from doing karaoke and dancing and shit to then being scared, being quiet. Like in one scene, she was like, "Let's do this, let's have fun." The next scene, she's like, "Oh my god, the killer!" And "Oh my god, I'm so sad." And "Oh my god, Rain!" And "Oh my god, I know that this man's flirting with me." I'm like, it was. They were trying too much, and none of it landed for me. I was not interested, and quite frankly, she did too much screaming. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. And why are you
But
doing this
also,
whole spinning around in the rain at the grave? What do you like?
she was having a moment. Let her be.
No, it's
Um,
it's it's one of those things that I hate that movies do.
no, one thing I just don't like is like, for a second, I thought they would have made her more like brave. I understand, like we said, she's going through her own thing. But it's the fact that, she's so timid from after what happened. She's like, they make her try to have this confidence, and then easily it's gone. Like she's back to being timid again.
Any thoughts to one?
It kind of follows what we are saying in the first one, and that Julie just does not follow like that iconography that I would give other like final girls.
She
I
doesn't give
forget.
scream. She doesn't give scream queen.
No, her scream is good. She gives scream
She
queen.
does. She doesn't get final girl. She's not up there with the pan like the.
Yeah, she not like in the pantheon. That's what I
No,
think that's what we said. Like she not up there with the
she's
the
not up there
Sydney.
with Sydney and Lori and
Who the fuck else?
that. No, old girl from the second. No, the old girl from the second. Friday 13th and Patricia Arquette's character from Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, and Nancy's ass from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
There's a
Nancy. Yeah,
few, but Julie ain't up there. She not one of them. I would take one of them girls from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre before I take Julie ass.
yeah. Because like I don't know, Julie. I feel like in some of those other movies. I don't. Let me see the best way to kind of describe this. Like I feel like things happen around Julie, whereas like it feels like things are happening around Julie, but she's not like an active participant. I don't know. I don't know how the best way
She
to
was
put what
she
I'm
was
thinking
giving
of.
spectator the entire time. Like
Yeah, it feels like she's more like a spectator than than being included. I don't know.
And this is
It's
her film.
it's given the same
but
thing
it
it
don't.
gave in the last
But it
movie. It
also don't
feels
feel
like
like it.
it felt like
It
Brandy's
really
movie
doesn't.
instead of hers.
It sure did.
Same way it felt the first one felt like Sarah Michelle's movie instead of hers. Like I just don't know. And
Sorry,
like
Karen.
I've seen Jennifer Love Hewitt like lead movies before, but I don't know what it is with this character with Julie James. It's not hidden for oh shit for Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No, you're right. I Yeah, I just don't really see it for Julie's character. Like she is pretty uninteresting, and it sucks to say because just like in the first one, Jennifer Love Hewitt, great actors, like love her, but they don't give her much to work with in this one. And I know I feel like kind of said the same with the other one as well. And while I do still like this one more, I can say that they really um if it feels like they didn't give her any growth. Like it still feels
It
like
just seems like she was spaced out.
while she is like still like doing better, like her character though is still obviously traumatized by what happened, but it doesn't feel like there was any arc or anything gained or nothing like that for her throughout it. Whereas, like, we in like a Sydney, Sydney's like overcoming what's going on, like fighting back, or like Lori. So I don't know. I feel I just didn't get that with Julie here.
You also know what it is? We felt sympathy with Sydney and Lori because they were innocent victims, you know. But like
That's
Julie,
true.
you were part of the cover up, baby. Like you took part in that. Like I don't know.
So, with our behind the scenes info and facts for Still Know What You Did Last Summer, this movie had a budget of 24 million, 7 million more than the first movie, and it had a box office of 84 million, and that is 41.3 million less than the first one. Some interesting facts.
Ah.
The character of Carla Wilson was originally intended to be a white woman until Brandy auditioned and won the role. In a 2018 interview, writer Trey Calloway revealed that he was asked by Mandalay Pictures if he was interested in penning the script for the sequel. Being a fan of the original, Calloway agreed, pitched his take, and was hired. In order to capitalize on the success of the first movie, the studio was eager to get production underway, with filming starting around 6 months after Calloway sold his pitch. Due to the negative critic reactions of the film upon release, Freddie Prinze Jr. admits that he has never seen the film because of its reputation. As of March 2024, Freddie Prinze Jr. recently watched the film for the first time for his horror podcast, That Was Pretty Scary, and admitted that he found the movie entertaining. This film would be the last time Jennifer Love Hewitt appeared in a horror film, not wishing to be typecast as a Scream Queen. Due to scheduling conflicts with Dawson's Creek, The Faculty, Halloween, and gearing up to direct Teaching Mrs. Tingle, prevented Kevin Williamson from writing the screenplay for both this film and Scream 3 after having written their predecessors. Mekhi Phifer appeared as the boy in the music video to Brandy's song The Boy Is Mine, which he did as a duet with Monica the same year this movie's release. Some critics'
Really?
reactions. This film currently sits at a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes. You heard that right. 7 singular.
Okay, now for the audience, especially me, how bad is that?
That's bad.
I don't know Rotten Tomatoes like that, so it's just like we.
Rotten Tomatoes is out of 100.
Oh,
So Rotten Tomatoes is an average like type of thing. So they take a bunch of critics' reviews and come up and get an average. So out of 58 reviews, they ended up on a 7%, meaning
oh
most of the
God,
reviews meaning most of the reviews were pretty negative about the movie. Um
damn.
Variety said purists will find the pic's obviousness disappointing, but there's no question that the film delivers a sufficient shock quotient to satisfy its youthful target audience. In a 2017 interview, I Know What You Did Last Summer director Jim Gillespie said, I thought it wasn't the right story. I didn't like the premise. It kind of killed the franchise a little bit. They had a chance to do something a bit different, and for me, it didn't work. But let's forget about him. What about us? Elion, do you cash or pass? I still know what you did last summer.
Okay, now I could be honestly biased because after when I was watching the film, I was definitely like a cash, but previously it was just more of the fact that no, after just reviewing it, you guys made some really good points. Like a lot of this was just so unnecessary, especially with some of the characters on top of that. It was just like the storyline did die down, or like the plot summary was not a it was not as well written, or it kind of destroyed the franchise, as you were just saying prior. But I would have to pass. I liked it more than the first one. I will say that I did like it more. But just like what Mark said, it was just something like the thriller aspect was really missing. It felt more of like I hate to say it, it felt like more like a Scooby Doo kind of thing. So I'll pass.
So, for me, I still do like this movie, like just as a general like slasher type of thing. Even though all the problems and stuff with it, I still do like it. Now, would I come back to this one like often? Probably not. Um, I will say the only reason that I've had any want to watch these movies of recent is due to the newer one coming out a little bit later in the summer. So that's why I've been kind of interested in checking out
And that's
these
Jennifer Love Hewitt as
returns
well,
now.
right?
Yeah, she's in the new one.
Wow.
It kind of does like the Scream 5 thing. But
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I would catch this just due to like those reasons, but I do have some gripes with the movie. But it isn't like the worst thing ever. So yeah, I think I would give it a cash.
For me, I'm gonna give it a cash. Do I want to give it a cash? I'm kind of conflicted. I was conflicted last week because I didn't know what I was getting myself into because it had been so long. But with this one, yeah, it's a slasher, but I didn't enjoy it. I'm gonna give it a pass. And that might be controversial, but I this is a pass for me. It's something missing, and I think I'm missing the thriller element from the first one. And I feel like if they found a good blend between the thriller element and the slasher element, I would love this a lot more. But it just went straight slasher, and I don't know, I didn't enjoy it. This is a pass for me. It's not for me.
And with that, we are at the end of this episode. Please come back next week to hear our review for I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer.
There's
And
more.
there's one more,
Oh my god.
and it is apparently very bad. I've
How
actually
bad? How
never
bad is
seen
it?
it. It went direct to DVD. It never released in theaters.
You have to take note, I've
Um,
never watched any of these films until now, so it's just like if it was worse than this, I'm afraid to
yeah, I've never seen it myself, so yeah, I really can't say. But yeah,
I'll text you when I
it's
once I finish it.
it's probably a doozy. Yeah, join us next week, and good night. If you like this episode, please be sure to check out some from the Haddonfield Horror Cemetery, where we've covered big franchises such as Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Saw, or one-off reviews like The Blackening or Hereditary. You can follow Haddonfield Horrors on Instagram and TikTok, where the host posts updates and mini reviews. Full episodes are available on several podcasting platforms, including Spotify, as well as YouTube. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is produced by Mark Smart, Tawan Griffin, and Elian Cordova, themed by Lethal Injection, and edited by Mark Smart.
The Haddonfield Horror Podcast is a letter to media production.
Should we do an intro?